So the last question we're going to talk about in part 2 is how do you manage emotions? And I'm tying that into another question, which was, do you ever become gun shy, like scared to pull the trigger on a trade? And I think that it's important to tie these two questions together in the same video as what I just answered, because it all goes back to the system that I was speaking about. It all goes back to that tested and proven strategy. So do you ever become gun shy? Do I ever hesitate on a trade? Not often anymore, because I've done so much work, so much testing, and I've spent so much time trading this same system. So how do you prevent yourself from being trigger shy? How do you prevent yourself from hesitating before you get into a trade? You put in a lot of work into the system to make yourself subconsciously, as deep as possible, believe in the system, so that every time the entry presents, you know where the stop loss should be, you know what the risk profile is, so you know what the size should be, and you have no fear to take that trade. The only way to get yourself there, in my opinion, is doing the work, putting in the hours, whether that's in markups, whether that's in videos and study, and in the live market as well. And that question tied into how do you manage emotions, which I think, again, goes back to the system. The systems remove the potential for emotional decision making. If you have rules, there's no way for emotions to sway you. You're either following the rules or you're not. And if you're not, you're broken edge, you're off on your own. If you were collecting data to test this edge, you've now created an outlier in the data set, and it can't be tracked. You're off on your own. Like I said, you're the guy across enemy lines. We can't help you anymore. So to manage your emotions as a new trader, if I could go back and tell myself something 5 years ago, it would be just find better rules, meaning more profitable rules, and it would be stick to those rules. Hold yourself accountable, Austin, and ask someone. I should have asked people sooner to hold me accountable to the rules. Riley and other people she wasn't close to me when I started trading, but you get the point. Whoever was close to you when you started, that's who you want to go to, or maybe even now, if you haven't done it yet, find somebody that you can go to and say, hey, these are my rules. I know it might not even be the same way that you trade, Steve, but listen, Steve, I need you to hold me accountable to following these rules. Can you check in on me every couple of days and see how I'm doing? Read my journal, see my trades, let me know what you think. That type of accountability is going to lead to massive growth. It'll prevent emotions from coming into your trading, from impacting the decisions that you're making with your hard-earned money. So how do I manage emotions? I use rules that are tested and proven, and I do a lot of back testing and a lot of work, and I use accountability to keep myself within the rules, tight to the ropes, just working my edge. That's it. Everything else is noise. I'm just working my 3 entry and exit systems. That's my edge, and that's all I want to do. So yeah, emotions can play into it, especially when you start trading thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. But that's why I always preach to you guys to not look at the money. I have to do that myself sometimes. Close the money and not worry about it, because it does influence us. It can make us emotional. So there's a couple little hacks that you can do, like closing the terminal and making sure you don't see that. But at its fundamental level, how to manage your emotions comes back to better rules. If you have solid systems, tested entries with predetermined stop losses, with predetermined take profits, with a risk profile that tells you how much size to put on the trade, so you have it all predetermined, how can you be emotional? Well, you can be, but you know you're going to be breaking edge, and that's going to be a conversation that you need to have with yourself at the end of the day to address that. So managing your emotions goes back to your rules, goes back to your systems, and it starts with a tested and proven system.